Tonight on the Bayou Breakdown, quarterback talk heats up as LSU prepares to face Arkansas. An LSU team fights till the very last penalty in the SEC tournament. And we have a Tiger TV exclusive sit-down with the #1 ranked football recruit in the country. All that and more, the Bayou Breakdown starts now. Welcome to the Bayou Breakdown. I'm Olivia Girardi.
And I'm Jayla London.
Before we get into the game against Alabama, news from Washington. The U.S. Senate has began the process of reopening the government after the longest shutdown in American history. The vote to begin the process came after the Republicans brokered a deal with 8 Senate Democrats. The deal includes a provision that would bring a vote for more Medicare funding, but does not guarantee passage. While the deal has enough votes for passage, many Democrats are still not on board and could delay the final vote.
Democrats demanded that we find a way to fix this crisis and quickly, but Republicans have refused to move an inch. So I cannot support the Republican bill that's on the floor.
Republicans remain optimistic that the deal will move out of the Senate before the end of the week, with House Speaker Mike Johnson preparing for a House vote as soon as the Senate is done.
We'll give a 36-hour formal and official notice so that we can vote as soon as possible to pass the amended CR bill and get it to the president's desk. I'm stating the obvious to all my colleagues, Republicans and Democrats in the House, you need to begin right now returning to the Hill.
Once the deal passes both the Senate and the House, the funding bill will be sent to President Trump, who is expected to sign it.
Make sure you stay updated on this story by checking our social media and watching our shows throughout the week. Frank Wilson's debut as LSU's new football coach didn't go as planned. The team suffered their 4th loss in the last 5 games on Saturday, and the Tigers have now lost 12 out of the last 15 against the Crimson Tide. Saturday night was a disaster for the LSU offense, and it was the first game this year where they couldn't score a touchdown. Nussmeier was benched in the 3rd quarter, giving backup quarterback Michael Van Buren a chance to play for the 3rd time this season. He went 5 for 11 with only 52 yards. Neither quarterback was able to get the Tigers a touchdown on Saturday, and that raised a lot of questions about the future of this LSU offense. Reporter Gia Picarella was at Wilson's press conference earlier today and has more.
Got some playing time at Alabama, it opened up a can of worms. The big question is going to be the Tigers' starting quarterback come Saturday. Frank Wilson did not officially name a starter. He actually said he's preparing both. He said that Nussmeier and Van Buren both bring different strengths to the team and different threats for this Arkansas defense.
We're not out on anything. Again, I think if you look at body of work and you isolate it, that's good. That was good. We missed that. We got to be able to get that. And they're both imperfect in that sense. They both brought something to the table that helped this team to go up and down the field. They both have things that they need to continue to work on as well. And so I don't think it's just a clear separation where one is beyond the other, that we'll need both of them. And I think and I know we'll use both of them in this game.
Despite coming off of a loss, Frank Wilson is still keeping his head held high. He's looking forward to making these offensive adjustments that will hopefully help the Tigers actually score some touchdowns. Covering Tiger football, I'm Gia Picarella.
Thanks, Gia. The postseason may be completely out of the picture, but this LSU football team still has a lot to fight for as the battle of the boot is still on the line. Reporter Brasia Clark has more on this SEC matchup.
This Saturday, the LSU Tigers host the Arkansas Razorbacks in Death Valley, a matchup where neither team has anything to lose, but the battle for the boot is always on the line. For the Tigers, they are coming off of a big loss against Alabama, crushing any chances of their playoff hopes. Although they didn't get the win, interim head coach Frank Wilson liked how the Tigers played. Knowing they have a tough Arkansas team this week, he knows they need to build off of that momentum.
The way you played mattered most. When you play the number 4 team in America and you put yourself in position that's something you could build off.
Last year, the Tigers and the Razorbacks faced off in Arkansas, where the Tigers came out victorious 34-10. With these teams officially out of playoff contention, this game comes down with pride and winning the rivalry trophy. With improvement on the Tigers' minds, the players look to carry that into this week's matchup.
We need to keep improving every single week, and it will work out for us, hopefully.
LSU has been struggling to make big plays down the field, and inconsistency at quarterback has been part of the problem. The Tigers have not named an official starter for this week, but there could be some changes in the QB room as the coaches try to look for the right spark. In the past, the LSU defense has struggled against running quarterbacks, and with Arkansas's quarterback Taylor Green being known for his running plays and considered a dynamic dual player, LSU could be in trouble. Even with nothing on the line in the standings, the battle for the booth ensures that both teams will play with determination and a desire to keep or leave with the trophy. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Bracia Clark.
With all the drama LSU had on offense on Saturday, Arkansas head coach Bobby Petrino is taking no chances on preparing for who the Tigers will play as quarterback.
We're familiar with both of them, obviously, from last year. Have a lot of respect for Nussmer and the way he's played throughout his career. Hasn't had the type of year that he thought he would have, but he's still a really good player. And then we'll have to be ready for both of them.
There's been lots of reactions after Coach Wilson decided to make that quarterback change against Alabama. That's why we sent reporter Ashanti Jones to ask the students how they feel about this LSU football team with 3 more games to go.
I'm outside the Tiger Stadium after LSU's rough loss against Alabama. Let's see how the students are feeling after this one.
100%. I have work, but I don't have it on my phone, probably in my pocket, so I gotta watch. We gotta get a win here.
This year, probably not. I'm gonna watch it on TV, definitely. But as far as going to the game, I probably won't.
The atmosphere is fun, so I feel like that's a good aspect of the game overall. It's just having a good time.
I think he's definitely the starter. He played pretty good. That's probably the worst environment the backup can go into in all of college football. So I was pretty happy with it, honestly.
Showed some promise. He has a few good plays. I thought he's going to be very good for next year.
He definitely is what the team needed, to go forward, definitely.
Opinions are mixed, but fans aren't just giving up on the Tigers just yet. From Tiger TV Sports, I'm Ashanti Jones.
Thanks, Ashanti. We'll see if this team is able to turn things around for the last stint of the season. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you all about the LSU team that has played in the SEC tournament final and what's next as they head into the NCAA tournament.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping. Got a few minutes? You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. The LSU soccer team competed for the SEC championship against Vanderbilt in Pensacola on Sunday. The Tigers scored first with a goal by midfielder Gabby Ceballos, and the game was tied by the Commodores in the 70th minute. They forced a penalty shootout, and LSU would end up losing it in PKs, 8-2, best performance in an SEC tournament since they won it in 2018. The Tigers are now ranked 4th in the bottom left of the NCAA tournament bracket. They will host their first game against Houston Christian on Friday. LSU soccer isn't the only team ready to keep the momentum going. The LSU men's basketball team had a solid start to the season as well. Reporter Jesse Earls is outside the PMAC to tell us everything we need to know about tonight's matchup against New Orleans.
Thanks, ladies. Later on tonight, the LSU Tigers will play the UNO Privateers for an in-state battle in the PMAC. The Tigers are 1-0 in the season and look to make it 2-0 with the win against the UNO Privateers tonight. Look out for the backcourt duo of Max McKinnon and DJ Thomas, who combined for 35 points, and the Tigers just win against Tarleton State. UNO will be no easy task for the Tigers. The Privateers are 2-0 in the season and have already pulled off an upset against TCU earlier. They will have Louisiana rap legend Master P in their corner tonight. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Jesse. The number 5 LSU women's basketball team gave Flau'jae Johnson a very happy homecoming as the team played against Georgia Southern in Statesboro. The team scored a season high of 118 points against the Eagles. It's the second time that LSU starts a season with 3 games where they scored more than 100 points. This marks a perfect start of the regular season as LSU is now 3-0 after an intense week. The Tigers will play Charlotte on Wednesday in the Maravich Center.
There's another team on a hot streak around campus. Following a win to Ole Miss, LSU volleyball traveled to Columbia, South Carolina to face the Gamecocks. Junior Journey Robinson led the team with 19 kills, followed by Angelina Lee, who dropped a season high of 13. The team is back to 500 after picking up a victory in straight sets, and this was the first sweep for the Tigers in conference play. They are now 5-8 against SEC teams. Next up, they'll travel to Athens facing the Bulldogs on Wednesday, and they'll come back home to finish the regular season against Auburn on Friday. Coming up after the break, we have a Tiger TV exclusive with the #1 football recruit in the country.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. With so many recent changes and uncertainties with LSU athletics, there has been reasonable concern surrounding this year's recruiting class. However, I had the opportunity to sit down with one big-name recruit, and he says he's still calling Baton Rouge.
just being that dude on the line, game starting the trenches, just tackles for loss, playing dominant, not just the first, second downs, but third and longs and all that, getting sacks and just changing the game.
Just a mile north of Tiger Stadium, one of LSU football's biggest prospects is dominating the high school gridiron. Lamar Brown is a Baton Rouge-bred two-way athlete that has waited patiently to represent his home state in those 3 letters.
Starting off since freshman year, that was my first offer. I believed in Coach Kelly. He believed in me first out of all the schools that offered me, I think all 32 maybe. But just them believing in me from the jump, it just being able to play in Tiger Stadium, my hometown, home field with the crowd behind me, I wouldn't take that advantage to go somewhere else and play here.
Located right on LSU's campus, University High School has a rich history of producing top football talent, with alumni like Christian Harris and former LSU player Jaquelin Roy currently on NFL rosters. The highly coveted 5-star recruit is cementing his own legacy as a Cub as he prepares to become one of the next hometown heroes to suit up in purple and gold.
Being that guy from the hometown, being that the next dog for the state of Louisiana, like the dudes that came before me was like Leonard Fournette, Tyrann Mathieu, and plenty more. It just staying home and being that person that they think I can be, which a dog, leader, and anything. But I know I'm gonna have to work for that when I get there, and I'm gonna just take it off from there.
Standing at about 6'5", Lamar is an intimidating presence on the field. And while he has plenty of accomplishments to boast, he remains as humble as ever, embracing the U-High community and leaving his mark in the process.
Just being not that cocky person, just love everyone. Like, I'm a whole different person in school, by just chatting with students. Like, I'm not the one that's just like big league people. I'm just the type, get a conversation out of.
In an era of name, image, and likeness, better known as NIL, there has been an influx of social media noise surrounding Lamar's commitment to LSU, with users often suspecting that he will flip to another program. However, Lamar says he's staying focused on his reality and doesn't plan on wavering in his commitment.
That's just all their work. I know I'm locked in with LSU right now, so I don't really pay attention to all that.
While the U-High standout has the ability to produce on both the defensive and offensive line, it's likely that he will get his college experience on the defensive side of the ball. Either way, he remains committed to his overall growth as a player as he eagerly anticipates the electric environment of Death Valley on Saturday nights.
I'm just ready. Next fall, just get my chance to prove everybody wrong. Really just reprove myself, because the 5-star ain't gonna mean nothing once I get in college. Just keep stacking them days, just believing in God, believing in my team, my family, and everything. Just push me to get back to my element next year.
It's time for our weekly Monday night picks, Olivia.
Yes, and for this week we have a great game with the 6-2 Philadelphia Eagles visiting the 5-1 Green Bay Packers.
And they are both leading their division. Green Bay needs a win as they have the Lions and Bears breathing on their neck.
Philadelphia is leading their division with ease as they are up against the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Giants, who, let's all be honest here, they have some pretty bad losing records. Speaking of the Giants, they fired head coach Brian Daboll today as the team is last in the division, being 2-8.
This all comes after a disappointing loss against the Bears. Mike Kafka, offensive coordinator, will be the interim head coach. It's now time to choose, Olivia. Who do you have?
All right, I am going to go with Green Bay. They're coming off that disappointing loss against the Panthers, and they'll want to give their fans some joy in what's going to be a classic cold game in Green Bay.
And because of the cold weather tonight, I think the Eagles will really rely on the running game with Saquon Barkley and using Jalen Hurts in the mix as well. And that's why I'm taking them to win this one tonight.
Yeah, and that's not a bad pick at all, but that is all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to keep up with all things LSU Tiger TV on our socials at LSU Tiger TV.
And tune into our shows live at 5, Monday through Thursday.
For Tiger TV, I'm Olivia Girardi.
And I'm Jayla London.
Have a good night.